We just had a most spectacular rain, and it's kind of funny because I'm coming out here to show you my new dry garden, and on the way I want to show you, look at the shade variation on this Orangium integrifolium. They develop into this just spectacular shade of, it's like a lavendery blue. That's what I love so much about it. Not many pollinators out right now though because of the rain, and there's a little break in the rain, so I better get on to my task before the next bout of rain comes through. Here is my new dry garden, although it's wet because it just rained. But I've been working on this space, and of course it's not done. Nothing is ever done in my garden. But this section back here was completely overgrown with weeds, and the split leaves were hanging out. See how they're hanging out there? They were hanging out here. I trimmed everything back. I stuck a trellis in there to catch the passiflora incense. So this area up here, I still have some work to do down that way, all gets full blazing sun, and it's a little bit higher, and the rainwater runs off of it, so it stays drier. It's a small section of my garden, but I have this collection of plants that prefer hot, dry settings, including this world milkweed. And oh my gosh, guys, the funniest thing, I'm out here looking at it, it's like, oh, where did all the leaves go? I found a queen caterpillar nearby wandering around looking for something new. So of course I took it in, but you can see it's already starting to put new leaves on. I also put cloches over these milkweeds so that they won't get eggs laid on them. Here's one of my Asclepias viridis that got eaten down. Another queen was on this. So I took that queen in, and you can see it's growing back already. Here is another Asclepias viridis. There's another one there. I'm not sure it's going to grow back or not. And then right here is my Asclepias tuberosa, which I didn't cover, but it's doing well. And so far it's not getting eaten down by anything. So these are all Florida native milkweeds that like a hot, dry setting. World milkweed, Asclepias viridis, and Asclepias tuberosa. The world milkweed, I think, is Asclepias verticella. So, world milkweed, this is green milkweed, and butterfly weed. Those are their common names. So then right here, I had this pot sitting here that had random Elliott's aster that had just come up in it. So I moved the Elliott's aster, and I purposefully planted my late purple aster because it likes a hot, dry setting, and my Melochia tomentosa, or tea bush, that I just purchased. And yes, I put it in a pot this time. I've had it in the ground, but it does freeze, and it doesn't do well in a freeze. So anyway, I thought they were a great combination because the colors are kind of similar, and so far they're very happy here. And Katie, oh Katie, just for you, are you watching? Here we go, Katie. Trimming it down so it will shrub out and fill in this pot. Caterpillars have been showing up in so many random places. I had so many polydamas swallowtail caterpillars. They had all left the plants, but they all ate the pipevine. And I would find them crawling across the ground, like far from the plant, off in search of something. So of course, everyone I found, I scooped up and said, I have some for you. I have some for you. And now I have a lot of them in there. Same with the queens. Funny thing is I have a swallowwort milkweed that is also a Florida native, and it was in a pot that froze, and I thought it was gone, and a bunch of tropical sage grew up in it, in that pot, and I was back there trimming a few things, and what did I find? A queen caterpillar. I was like, what are you doing here? And then I realized, oh, the swallowwort was growing back. So I picked up the whole pot and moved it up here with all my other milkweeds. So I'm going to show it to you in a second. And once I moved it up here and got the tropical sage out of the pot, there was another queen. So I have a bunch of queen caterpillars too. Look at all of these polydamas swallowtail caterpillars. There's tons of them, and I did not have any intention of raising this many, but when they're out there wandering around starving, and you know they're not going to find any pipevine because you're got it all inside trying to grow it to feed the caterpillars you have, well, what are you going to do? So here they are, and look at all these queens. There's some monarchs in here too. And like 4 of the queens have already pupated. I moved their chrysalises over into the other enclosure. So a lot of caterpillar activity, not only with them. Look at all the dense leaf stem collection that is in my spicefish swallowtail enclosure. And when I brought cuttings in, there were more eggs on the cuttings. So I've got a bunch of them to the point that I've got another enclosure coming because I'm going to need 2 for these guys. And even cooler, look what I did. I double stacked them. See, one on top of the other. It gives me more space. And then I can have fewer caterpillars in each enclosure the more that I get, and just stack them like this. It's so nice. So these are, oh, and I just went out to bring in fresh cuttings for them. There were eggs all over, giant swallowtails. And down here, there's one tiny baby polydamas swallowtail caterpillar. So sweet. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this little one kept leaving the plant in the other enclosure, and I would find it up on the side because I think all those big guys were just very overwhelming, and so it was trying to get away from them because the big caterpillars will eat through little ones, not realizing what they're doing just because they're so focused on eating. So I got this one in its own little stem cuttings, and it is now hanging out in here with my very last Eastern Tiger Swallowtail caterpillar, who is looking good on his wild black cherry tree stems. So the other 2, oh my gosh, it has been something, let me tell you. Remember my giant swallowtail caterpillars? I moved into the outdoor enclosure and let them climb on to that big potted wild lime. I lost all of them to some kind of disease. And it wasn't NPV. It didn't have the classic NPV signs. It more had signs of like pesticides, like BT. Well, actually, no, it didn't, because they didn't even go to pupate. I don't know what it was, but it was sad. It was sad. So everybody else who I found since then is inside. I've got a lot of eggs and baby giant swallowtails in there now, which I should probably order another one of those acrylic enclosures. So let me show you what I do have in the outdoor enclosure. I'm putting my potted pipe vines out here so they can grow back. This is a setting they should like. They get morning sunlight that comes in at an angle through the front here, and then afternoon shade. So this is where they can grow and grow and grow quickly, please. And this is not all of my potted ones. I have a lot more, but this is just some of them. And I'm hoping they'll grow profusely so I can feed all of these caterpillars and joyful butterflies out of pipevine. They were out of a lot of stuff. They've been getting more back in stock, which is wonderful, but not yet. The pipevine, and it's like, what am I going to do? Because I said, I'm only going to raise 3. But when you're walking through your garden and you look down and you see the little caterpillar and you know it's going to look for pipevine and you know there isn't any, and you know you've got a little stash of it, you know, I have to take them in. So I found another place that had some, and I ordered it online, and I ordered, I think 4 plants maybe, and it's shipping. So I'm curious to see what it's like when it gets here, but joyful butterfly will always be my number 1, but it's nice. I'm glad that I found an alternate place to get some if I need it. And I'm looking forward to its arrival so that just to see how it's shipped, what it is like working with this new business that I'm ordering from. So I'll let you know if I'm pleased with it. I'll let you know how it went. Another thing I did is up front, you know where I have all those potted things outside my garden room door? Right here, I did a little reconfiguring, and it's hard for you to see, but I can see. I tore all this out. There were weeds growing up under the little stands, and it's starting to rain again. I'm gonna sit here as long as I can. Anyway, I tore it all out and then put it back together again, so it's a little bit more open and accessible. And I love my little line of white pots here. These are my Target clearance pots. And I potted my 2 swamp red bays. So they should be happy here because they're getting full sun, but they're in wetland pots. And I love that. I hid my rue over here and it still looks terrible. And there's eggs on some of it, and this is it. Like, I have 2 over there in a planter and this. So I do have golden Alexander if need be. If I find a caterpillar, then I will put it on the golden Alexander. And then I moved my fragrant sumac up here. Winged sumac. That's the winged one. I moved wild lime that's potted up here, so I'd have more host plants represented right here. I had a little butterfly pea that I grew from seed, and so I potted it up in here, and is that in the pot? Hang on a minute, let me go around and check. The butterfly pea is I potted in the pot with the, look at this. This is the swallowwort milkweed, and it's this little vine, and these are the size of the leaves that it gets. So they can grow in here together. That's where I found 2 queens on those tiny little, I mean, this is all there is this. Isn't that something? And my new pipevine, Aristolochia trilobata, kept finding eggs on it all the time, and I kept having to move them. So I put it in here so it can just grow. And the seller I got this one from posted another one. They only have one, and I bought it. So it's coming. It's coming too. And I'm going to put it in here too and let it grow. And then this is really exciting. Look at this. This is my Aristolochia macrophylla. And I said it was just sitting here not doing anything. Well, it's finally got its roots happy, and now it is growing like a champ. And look what it has. Look at that. Look at all those sweet little polydamas swallowtail babies. They are adorable. But oh my goodness, like, oh my goodness. The pipe vine, I just need to find one. Well, thankfully, this one's decided it's going to grow faster now. So this little rain we're having is quite lovely and so needed. And my garden's just going to feel so refreshed. Look at all my potted zinnias are getting bigger out here. I did a whole row of pots of the little seeds I've been growing, and some of them are getting bigger. So that's exciting when they all start blooming. I love that they're right here, and then I'll just run out the door and start getting pictures. I've gotten so many good pictures. I've got this little collection of corky stem passion vine here, and there, every day I've come out, there have been visible caterpillars on it. I don't know, do they hide? Oh, here's one here. Gulf fritillary caterpillar. And I frequently see the Gulf fritillary butterflies out here just hovering all around and laying more eggs on it. So they're very happy with the corky stem passion vine. And remember when I showed you in the last video my little balloon milkweed seedlings? I have more. I have so many of them. It's fabulous. I need them all to grow big now though. Look, there's a whole tray there. There's 4 trays right here. There, and here. And each of these trays has 24. So it's like 100 balloon milkweed plants right there. And that's on top of the ones I showed you in the last video. Here's on my pipe vine. Oh, please grow. Please grow fast. I've got very hungry caterpillars. Out here in my Florida native wildflower garden, I am trying 2 new hanging baskets. This one is frog fruit host plant to common buckeye and white peacock. I'm pretty sure I have those right. And it looks like it doesn't even know it got pulled out of one garden and stuck in a pot. Now the other one I'm trying not so much, but there's some hope. This is sunshine mimosa, and this doesn't look too good, but this does. And I thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be so cute in a hanging basket to have those little pink puffs draping all around and over when they bloom? So I can go get some more sprigs and replace these ones, or maybe I'll just trim them down. I don't know, but I'm happy for these 2, and I know they'll spread, but I think those will be cute little hanging baskets in here. And it's a good way to get some of these ground cover plants like the sunshine mimosa and the frog fruit up where they can be visible and be more seen, and where I can talk about them, because both of these make an ideal ground cover. I keep my sunshine mimosa, well, it's growing back here in the corner of my garden, and I have something really cool to show you back here too. So let's just go back and see. See, it's all growing up in here. This is where I actually pulled it out from, but this is all it. So I can just come and pull out some more if I need to, in and amongst the weeds. Yes, I have weeds. I love them. So if we come around here into my little secret hidey hole back here, this is my wild lime where I've been getting all of the giant swallowtail eggs. I just took a bunch of cuttings up and brought them in. But my chaya has flowers and it's even taller. It's even bigger and it's got a bunch of new little leaves coming on. But look at this. They're so cute. Look at these little flowers. I just noticed that it was blooming this morning. Haven't seen any butterflies on it yet, but it's raining. And what I'm hoping is, I think this rain's supposed to clear out maybe later today. One cool thing on these overcast rainy days is that, oh my gosh, that giant spider's still there. Oh, I'll show them to you in a minute. One cool thing on these overcast rainy days is like if the clouds move on and we get a little clearing later in the day, all the butterflies come out because they've been roosting in the rain and they haven't been eating and they're all hungry and it's so fabulous. So maybe that'll happen later, I'm not sure, but let me show you that spider. Oh, and I just looked down and look, here's a little mimosa flower. See, aren't they adorable? This is what would be on a hanging basket. Don't you think that'd be so cute in there with the little potted frog fruit beside it? So I have plenty of it growing all around. It's just back here in the corner. And there is the spider. Look how big he is. And there's the ugly blue thing. I know you've been missing it. Ugh. There's a little hummingbird out over there. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it's on my salvias. I'm seeing a couple butterflies coming out. There were some golf fritillarias back here when I first came in. I think some of them flew across the screen of the camera. Here comes a monarch. I'm still looking forward to tearing into that bed right there. That's just kind of like a little mishmash. I'm gradually sticking some things in here, but there's a lot that needs pulled out or trimmed back, especially all the scorpion's tail. I'm not going to take it out, but it's going to get trimmed. And there's some Mexican sunflowers in here that kind of are at the end of their peak, but there's new ones growing in, so that's okay. And look, my bee balm's blooming even more. There's more blooms coming. That's gonna be so pretty in here, especially intertwined with the scorpion's tail. That's a nice combination. Here I am on the other side of where my new dry garden is, and this part here can be part of it too once I finish weeding out. I might order some more Asclepias viridis. I kind of want to just wait and see how mine does. And look how cute my little salt marshmallow is. You can see the flowers aren't open, but look at how many buds there are. It's so pretty. And look at all the future blooms that are right there. I really, really like this plant. What I like most about it is that it's so small, because some of the mallows get huge and tall, but this one is more shrub-like, and I love it. So I hope it goes to seed. Maybe I'll try growing some of it. There's a little polka dot wasp moth on my alligator flag, which is still doing great. It's still got that really tall stalk with the flowers way up there. And there goes the little. He's gonna go up here into the bald cypress tree. You know, I'm back here behind this garden bed that needs redone. Look at all the scorpion's tail. This would be a good time to dive into that because it's so comfortable right now. Got rain cooled air, but I don't know if it's gonna start raining again or not. I don't know if I feel like starting a big project. But I could just pull a couple things out, right? and at least open up my walkway again right there. Here's my Kuntian. Look, there's some Atala chrysalides right there. Those are from the bunch that I brought home the last time. I have seen an Atala. I saw one yesterday maybe out in the garden, so there's still a chance, but I don't know. We'll keep trying. So just on the other side of this obelisk trellis with the cowpea, I have another corky stem passion vine in a pot. And look who's there, another Gulf fritillary caterpillar. And that's a big one. He should be pupating soon. And right out in my walkway right here is a butterfly pea. So I need to pluck that out and pot it and see if it will recover. It's a relocation. The majority of this week I spent just working in this garden, trimming, cutting back, and cleaning and organizing my garden room. I did release some butterflies, a monarch and a white peacock. I think I got some footage of it. I'll put in here. I also cleaned my little shot glasses. I filmed a little bit of that so you can see how I did that. And I'll put it in here. Cleanliness is everything when you are raising caterpillars, that's for sure. Bleach is your friend. These are my willy-nilly growing zinnias, and I'm going to stake them up so they won't look so willy-nilly. I just put little stakes in and got some twine and kind of gathered them all up to go upright and tied them loosely, really loosely. So they're still bent and going wonky, but they'll try and straighten up more and grow toward the sun. I did the same with this one. And then this pentas here was looking scrappy, so I just gave it a big chop and we'll let it grow back. And right here are two monarch magics that I propagated that are growing in nicely. They're pretty happy here. They probably like to get more sun than they're getting now, but they look better than the one that's in the backyard that I showed you in the last video. I also want to let you know I've taken some cuttings off of the sassafras tree right here and put them in the enclosure with the spice bush swallowtail caterpillars that are on the spice bush, and they transferred to it on their own and are eating it and everything. So they easily switched from one host to the other, which was good to see. Oh my gosh, look what's happening right here on my sassafras tree. So I was happy to see that that will work. So if you run out of spice bush, you can use sassafras. I would suggest offering the sassafras before you completely run out of spice bush, or vice versa, so they have the option to move on their own. When I redid this area here, I ended up with a few of my little metal shelf stands extra that I ended up taking out of this space. And some of them I put back here to put all my potted spice bush on. It's much easier to look them over for caterpillars when they're a little bit higher. And because of this border grass here, you don't really see the little metal stands they're on. And it's a lot easier too to get cuttings of them because my monstera was starting to like grow over top of them. as well as all the passiflora was getting tangled in them. So there's probably more caterpillars or eggs on these too. I already brought in so many. It's incredible. This has been my best year for spicebush swallowtails that I've had to date. Well, the sun never came out yesterday, but it sure is out today. And the butterflies are all coming out. Feels like it's gonna be another hot one in Florida today. I hope you guys enjoyed another hangout with me in my Florida butterfly garden. And I'm gonna head in a minute and get this edited to go up tonight. Tap those like buttons. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I think we need an emoji question. We haven't done one in a while. Let me think about it. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, because it's preseason football right now. And so if you love watching football, post a football emoji. If you have a favorite team, NFL or college, just say the team, who they are. Who's your team? Premier League soccer started up again too, so that's fun. If you love watching Premier League soccer, put a soccer ball. If you love soccer and football, American football, put a soccer ball and a football. If you watch Premier League soccer and have a favorite team, tell me who your favorite team is. Okay, I think that's good. And if you don't like sports or watching football or soccer at all, then post, gosh, what could we post? Post an emoji of something that you love. There we go. Because you got to post an emoji. Got to get those comments going. Got to get those likes back up on the videos. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.